Hey, welcome back to the channel. So with the first ex-dividend date now in the past, we can start to look forward to what the next distribution might be for Harvest's high income shares products. There's been a lot of back and forth on their website and posts about the minimum distributions, where they prominently displayed them and then removed them a few days later. This has added some confusion for many people, and I think they finally settled on where it will be placed on their website. But before we get into it, if you enjoy this type of content, then feel free to like and subscribe for future videos. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers and can hopefully reach it with this video. I also have a few upcoming HHIS related videos about the dashboard that I've been posting about lately. So stay tuned, and now let's get back into the video. So if you now look at their website on HHIS, for example, we see the 25-cent per month distribution on the details section. And as you all know by now, this translates to a 25% yield based on their initial inception price of $12. But we also see next to the text for distribution per unit, there's an asterisk, meaning there's more information and details somewhere else on the page. If we scroll down and try to find it, it's actually in the disclaimer section, which you can expand by clicking on it. Now let me zoom in a bit so this is easier to read. First thing that stands out in bold is the minimum monthly distribution amounts, which are now listed here, and is consistent across the other monthly variable funds if you wanted to find out what they are. And here's where we'll also find the note for the asterisk above, where it says the following. Announced per distribution for unit holders on record as February 28th, 2025, payable on March 7th, 2025. Distributions are paid to you in cash unless you request, pursuant to your participation in the distribution reinvestment plan, that they be reinvested into available class units of the fund. If a fund earns less than the amounts distributed, the difference is a return of capital. So the first half we are already aware of and isn't anything new, but it's the last sentence that stands out to me and provides new information that could be related to what I mentioned in the last video regarding the distributions. To me, what this means is that it confirms for all these initial distributions, they are indeed estimates on a 1.5 month projection of premium. And if for some reason they were unable to meet this projection, it would then be distributed as a return of capital. Of course, when you hear this, the alarm bells start to go off. But I think this will just be unique to these initial distributions, and that going forward, they'll pay out what they are able to earn. Typically, new funds delay announcing their initial distributions until after they are out for the first month, as I've seen in the past. But it's likely they felt confident in what they were able to generate and took the initiative to announce the initial distributions early in this manner. So when reading this, I would place a heavy emphasis on the first word in that sentence, which is if. In all likelihood, they should be able to meet their initial distribution amounts from the premiums generated because of all the rigorous backtesting they do before announcing these funds. But to cover their basis, they had to include this last line here just in the chance that they're unable to meet it for some reason. Unfortunately, we won't be able to find out how much, if any, was a return of capital until the end of the year, when they provide the annual tax information for each fund. Also, I'm not a tax professional, but a return of capital is not the end of the world, and is actually considered more tax efficient when compared to other forms of investment income. Feel free to consult a tax professional or do your own research when it comes to this. So because this note likely indicates that these are indeed projections, I want to once again share what might the next distribution ranges could be for these ETFs going forward based on what we know so far. If you want more details on the ETFs and the strategy itself, check out the previous video, which includes interviews with Michael Kovacs. Starting with the minimum distributions, these are all the values once again if you go to each ETF's disclaimer section. Then if we take all the initial distributions and divide it by 1.5x, we get a potential upper range of the distribution amounts. We do this because of the time between the inception of the ETF to the ex-dividend date is approximately 1.5 months. Also keep in mind that these are just projections and could very well be incorrect. You could end up paying a distribution higher than what I have here if, for instance, volatility is much higher in the coming months. So based on a $12 initial starting price, these will be where the next distributions could be between. For MSTY, it could be between 24 cents and 27 cents, or 24% to 27% yield. For CONY, it could be between 20 cents and 22 cents, or 20% to 22% yield. For PLTE, it could be between 15 cents and 25 cents, or 15% to 25% yield. For Tesla, it could be between 17 cents and 21 cents, or a 17% to 21% yield. For METE, it could be between 12 cents and 13 cents, or a 12% to 13% yield. Then for HHIS, it could be between 16 cents and 17 cents, or a 16% to 17% yield. With the upcoming release, the next batch of enhanced high income shares products to be included into HHIS, we might see a bump in the yield. The addition of leveraged versions of MSTE and CONY could give it an increase, but some of the other names being included might not have as high a volatility for a big distribution yield, so it might even each other out where the yield could stay the same or be very similar. So we'll just have to wait and find out once that is announced. And with that, like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next video.